By the time this interview is out, your movie Dog is going to be out. So, congratulations on that release. How are you feeling building up to it and now having it out?
Thanks. I mean, I think it's such the coolest thing about like TV or films is that, aspect of delayed gratification. It takes so long from when you first are on set creating the project till when it comes out. And so it's so exciting. And I know my mom is probably equally excited to see it.
Really? Is there a reason why, or just because you're in it?
Well, I think, I think everyone loves Channing Tatum. So that's always
True.
a really nice excuse to go see something that he's in, is that have a small part in it too.
But for anyone who hasn't heard of or seen the movie yet, could you tell us a little bit about what it is and what it's about?
Yes. So the film, I mean, my interpretation of the film is it's about a journey between a man and a dog, but it's about discovering, purpose in life and what really matters, and finding happiness and connection. And I think what's really interesting about the movie is that it's, coming out after the past 2 years that we've all had in a time where I think everyone is sort of evaluating those sort of key points to our life. How do
Sure.
we connect with people? We really know what it feels like to miss that kind of connection, that like deep, enriching, fulfilling connections with our families or, with friends. And so I'm sure that was unintentional as they started creating this movie a very long time ago. But I think that's just like an extra special touch mark for the film.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in the movie, you play Tiffany. Could you tell us a little bit about your character?
Yeah, so Tiffany, I play the wife of one of Channing Tatum's character's friends. And so I think that the journey that this film is about him, is about his character connecting with his friends and seeing their life, and looking from that outside perspective of what's important in life. And so my character serves that purpose.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of this is the army. I'm wondering, how did you bring your character to life? Did you have any inspiration from real life people?
Yeah, my dad was in the Army. He was in the Army for 8 years. He was in the 82nd Airborne Division. And so I was born on an Army base. I have a
Okay.
letter that says I'm an Army brat. I was born under the flag of the United States of America and everything.
So this movie
So
hit home for you.
it really did. And, it would be interesting to eventually, to at some point play someone like really in that realm, but
Mhm.
to be the army wife was really interesting because that was my mom. My mom I grew up with my mom um in that world, and so getting to just talk with everybody, there's real life people on set who are kind of guiding those precious moments in the film to make sure everything is accurate. And just to be in that presence is so interesting and so special to me. And I told everyone, that was there, and it was really cool because one of the producers was actually stationed on the army base that I was born,
Really?
um, many years after I was born. But yeah, it's such a unique experience getting to be a part of something that is actually special to me too.
Yeah, I mean, I know you talked about wanting to play a character in the future that's more like yourself. Do you have any ideas on what that movie would be about if you could create it?
Wow, I feel like I mean, I've always thought this was interesting about me. I don't know that everybody else would, but I feel like I have lived 15 different lives in my time on this earth. And so I think if there was like a story of my life, yeah, it would be just, you know, I guess that idea that it's not really about these moments that have happened in your life, whether it be growing up maybe in a tough situation or your family life being tough or school being tough. Like there's so many different ways where you can be challenged throughout your life, but not a single moment defines how the rest of your life is going to go. And so I think I would love to have a film, and if I could be part of it, that would be awesome. But even just to shape that story of, you know, overcoming adversity throughout your life and how that never really stops, regardless of having things that maybe other people seem that would be easy. There's still all kinds of things that can enter your life, and that it's really important to still touch upon the really beautiful moments. And I think the hardness is what creates the beauty in those moments. And so you kind of need both. You can't just have, you know, the picket fence and the great life. It's a story like that would be very cool.
Yeah, definitely. I would love to see that in your future somewhere. But a big part of the movie Dog is obviously Lulu, the dog. What was it like working on a set where you have an animal and Channing Tatum as the main characters? Like, what did you learn from that?
I love working with animals. I love animals in general. And what's really cool is, you know, in that situation where there's a lot of moving parts, seeing how present an animal is, right? They're like, they have their handler, they're very aware of exactly what's required of them and exactly what they need to do. And I think that's a really cool learning curve in general as a human, getting to witness that, you know, presence of animals.
Mhm.
And I had never really had personal experience with German Shepherds either, the breed. And
Okay,
what's interesting is that now we just rescued a German Shepherd a month ago,
really?
and we weren't looking for a new animal. Our beloved puppies had gone on to heaven, and we were not in a space of actively seeking an animal. And then a neighbor reached out if anybody was looking for one because their friend had rescued this dog. And so I thought it was very peculiar that just on the heels of all of this sort of coming out with the release of the film, this German Shepherd enters my life, who I might say reminds me a lot of Lulu because he's eating our couch and he's, you know, ripping things apart. And it's so interesting to have this film and to be able to bring it into my real life. And like all these little trailers are coming out of the film with things that Lulu is doing, and it's happening in my real life, you know, real time. And so I'm just like, okay, I know it's a movie, but if they can do it, I can do it too. Like there has to be a trick here. And I'm literally like drawing inspiration for my real life based on the interactions between Channing Tatum's character and Lulu. So it's an interesting one.
That's crazy. I mean, that's kind of like fate, to be honest. But
I
are
know.
you gonna watch this with your dog?
I know. I mean, eventually when it comes out to streaming, 100%, because I love watching dogs react to things on TV, right?
Yeah.
If a dog's barking on TV, their ears perk up and they get all excited, and you're like, it's okay, it's just the TV, but it'll be a nice little twist for him to maybe be extra confused. Like, why is there a dog that looks like me and you but it isn't me? What's going on? I'm sure the thought process might not be so deep, but that would be pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, pet owners could also use it as a training opportunity. You never know. Learn
Yeah,
some
I mean,
tips
I
and
think
tricks.
right, like that's the best part of the film is that, you know, that really friction sort of story at the very beginning. And I think it's really important to remember that a lot of times we react to situations in life, whether it be with our, you know, peers or in our partnerships. We forget to kind of take a step outside of like what's happening and say, you know, like, why is this happening, or what can I do to make this situation better or more pleasant, or make my person more comfortable or my dog more comfortable. We just sort of react to that like initial like stimuli, you know, like, oh, this is tough, or we're fighting, or or something. And so it really just goes to show how important that is in our relationships, and, to not forget to kind of step back for a second and see everything a little bit more full picture.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, do you have a favorite memory from when you were on set?
Yes, I was a mom, so I was working with two children, and um they were just running around having a really great time. Like they were like 6 or 7, and they were just snickering with each other like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited. This is my first like really big movie." And I was just like, "Me too."
I'm a part of this.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like in my mid-30s, and there's these like, babies, and just like it was just funny that, it doesn't matter how old you are, I think, or what you have done before, the excitement of being a part of something so big and with such talented people creating it is exciting regardless of your age.
Yeah, definitely. If you personally could describe this film in 3 words, what would they be?
Okay. It would be compassion, love, and patience.
I think I see your furry little friend in the corner there. He just nudged open the door. He's like, I want to be a part of this.
Yeah, he's like taking a nap.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's like, don't worry, this is the calm before the storm.
He looks so relaxed. He's
Yeah, he's
a
like,
little trick there.
I look cute now, but the second you go to run an errand, I'm gonna let you remember why I don't like when you leave.
Yeah. My last question for you, do you have any future projects that you could hint at or talk about?
I sort of dabble in a lot of different things, and aside from just my personal career, I also am an advocate for the differently abled community. And so excitingly, I can say that I produced a music video starring 2 adults who have Down syndrome, and it's premiering at South by Southwest in March. And that's super exciting. And I'm also working as a producer on a feature-length film, also starring 2 people with Down syndrome.
That is amazing. I cannot wait to see those. And congratulations to you for also producing and directing. How was that?
Yeah, my son has Down syndrome, and so, being a part of the, the entertainment industry, I've just sort of realized the need for representation for kids like my own. And so, alongside trying to continue building everything for myself, I've just obviously been trying to make sure there's a seat at the table for everyone along the way.
Yeah, that is phenomenal. Congratulations on that. It's so needed in the entertainment industry. So it's so great to see someone finally doing it. So that's amazing. But thank you so much for doing this interview. It was so great to talk to you and get to know
Oh,
you.
good talking to you too. Thank you so much.